Have you ever encountered a moment that was so heavily hyped, yet ultimately felt empty, resembling a meticulously crafted performance? The recent occasion where LeBron James shared the court with his son, Bronny, has been heralded as a historic event in the world of basketball. However, let's be honest, it often resembles a blockbuster film that, despite its impressive budget and extensive marketing, fails to deliver any genuine substance. The media has constructed an elaborate narrative around this moment, celebrating it as a milestone in sports history. Yet, when we take a closer look, it becomes apparent that much of the excitement is superficial, filled with glitz, but lacking in meaningful depth. While the sight of a father and son playing together is undeniably special, the overwhelming focus on the spectacle can overshadow the actual game and the players' performances. In a landscape where media narratives often prioritize sensationalism over authenticity, this moment can feel more like a marketing ploy than a true celebration of basketball. The hype surrounding LeBron and Bronny may draw attention, but it risks reducing their achievements to mere headlines rather than recognizing the hard work and dedication that athletes put into their craft. As fans and observers, it's essential to sift through the noise and appreciate the sport itself, rather than getting lost in the flashiness of the moment. As I observed the game unfold, I couldn't shake the feeling of disconnect that permeated the atmosphere. The media portrayed this encounter as a groundbreaking event, with commentators nearly brought to tears. Yet the reality we witnessed was far from the greatness they described. Instead, it felt contrived, a spectacle crafted to evoke emotional responses rather than genuinely showcase the talent on display. The overwhelming focus on the sentimental aspects of LeBron James sharing the court with his son, Bronny, raised questions about the authenticity of the moment. Are we truly moved to tears over an event that seems more like a public relations stunt than a significant milestone in the world of sports? The emotional narrative crafted by the media often overshadows the actual performances and the hard work that goes into the game. In a society that increasingly values spectacle over substance, it's crucial to critically assess these moments rather than simply accepting them at face value. While the image of a father and son playing together is undoubtedly heartwarming, it should not eclipse the essence of the sport itself. We must ask ourselves if we are genuinely celebrating a milestone or merely being swept away by a manufactured narrative designed to capture our emotions. Ultimately, true greatness in sports should be defined by skill, dedication, and authentic moments, not just by the tears and hype surrounding them. When Bronny finally took to the court, the moment felt fleeting and somewhat anticlimactic. He struggled to make an impact, missing several shots and quickly finding himself sidelined. Rather than marking a historic debut, it felt more like a narrative that was being forcefully imposed on the public. How can we genuinely label this as a moment of significance when a player himself barely made a mark on the stats sheet? This situation raises important questions about the authenticity of such spectacles. It's difficult not to perceive this entire event as a charade, a superficial display that detracts from the essence of the game, which should center around talent, hard work, and genuine achievement. The media's insistence on framing Bronny's appearance as a monumental occasion seems to overshadow the reality of his performance on the court. In a sport that celebrates skill and dedication, it's disheartening to witness moments that prioritize spectacle over substance. Instead of celebrating true athletic prowess, we are left with a manufactured narrative that feels more like a marketing strategy than a genuine milestone. As fans, we should strive to appreciate the game for what it truly represents, focusing on the athletes who earn their place through hard work and talent, rather than getting swept up in a fleeting moment that lacks real significance. LeBron's influence casts a significant shadow over this entire narrative. His role in ensuring that the Lakers selected Bronny has sparked a mix of reactions. While some might interpret this as a father's pride and support for his son, others view it as a concerning trend that raises questions about the integrity of the game. The Lakers, a franchise steeped in a rich history of excellence and tradition, appear to be reducing their legacy to a mere backdrop for LeBron and his son's story. This situation transcends basketball. It delves into how we define and perceive greatness in sports. It prompts us to consider the lengths to which we will go to maintain a particular narrative, even if it means compromising the values that have historically defined the sport. By prioritizing the spectacle of a father-son duo over the team's performance and legacy, we risk overshadowing the hard work and dedication that should be celebrated in the game. As fans and observers, we must critically evaluate the implications of such decisions. Are we allowing the allure of celebrity to distort our understanding of what it means to achieve greatness? The Lakers' choice to intertwine their storied history with the personal narrative of LeBron and Bronny raises important questions about the future of the franchise and the essence of basketball itself. Ultimately, it challenges us to reflect on how we value talent, legacy, and the true spirit of competition in a world increasingly driven by narratives and spectacle. Media personalities such as Stephen A. Smith and Kenny Smith have rushed to defend the significance of this moment, yet their justifications often come across as insincere. Beneath the surface, they seem to recognize that this event wasn't truly about Bronny. Rather, it was primarily focused on LeBron's legacy. The narrative is unmistakable. LeBron shared the court with his son, a feat that Michael Jordan never accomplished. This talking point is poised to become a key element in future discussions about who deserves the title of the greatest of all time. While this narrative may serve as a clever tactic to bolster LeBron's standing in the all-time rankings, it feels disingenuous when placed under scrutiny. The emphasis on this father-son dynamic overshadows the essence of the game itself and the achievements of both players. Instead of celebrating the sport and its inherent values, the focus shifts to personal milestones that, while heartwarming, can detract from the broader context of basketball history. As fans and analysts, we must be cautious about how narratives are crafted and presented. It's essential to distinguish between genuine accomplishments and those that are manufactured for the sake of creating compelling stories. Ultimately, this moment should not solely be viewed through the lens of LeBron's legacy. It should also honor the sport's rich history and the countless athletes who have contributed to its greatness. By doing so, we can foster a more authentic appreciation for basketball and the true essence of what it means to be great in this sport. Reflecting on this so-called special moment, it becomes evident that it was carefully orchestrated. The game seemed to prioritize the spectacle surrounding LeBron's legacy rather than focusing on Bronny's skills as a player. This situation resembles the idea of spotlighting a random high school athlete and allowing him to shatter records without facing any substantial competition. While it may technically be labeled as historic, one has to question its authenticity. Is this moment genuinely significant, or is it merely a manufactured event designed to serve a narrative? The answer is a resounding no. The emphasis on the emotional aspects and the father-son dynamic often overshadows the true spirit of competition and the hard work that defines excellence in sports. In a sport built on meritocracy and skill, moments like these should be scrutinized. They risk trivializing the achievements of countless athletes who have earned their place through dedication and talent. Instead of celebrating a genuine milestone, we are left with a spectacle that feels more like a marketing strategy than a true representation of athletic prowess. As fans, we must remain vigilant in distinguishing between authentic achievements and those that are crafted for the sake of narrative, ensuring that the integrity of the game is preserved. One voice amidst this chaos is Magic Johnson, who recently suggested that Bronny is on a similar path to players like Austin Reeves and Alex Caruso. But let's be honest, this comparison is absurd. Both Reeves and Caruso earned their spots in the league through years of hard work, while Bronny's journey has been paved with privilege and expectation. He skipped crucial steps that define a player's growth and success. In preseason, Bronny scored 17 points on 17 shots in a game the Lakers lost by 50. Stat padding at its finest. This isn't the mark of a player ready for the NBA. The numbers tell a story of struggle, with Bronny ranking among the worst in several key statistics. For Lakers fans, this decline must be disheartening. The franchise has a storied legacy, and watching it be reduced to a sideshow for LeBron and Bronny is a tough pill to swallow. The Lakers, once synonymous with greatness, now seem to be a footnote in LeBron's narrative. This isn't about the low-tier franchises. This is about the LA Lakers, a team that should stand for excellence. The current state of affairs feels like a fall from grace, and it's disheartening to witness. As we wrap this up, let's recap the key points. LeBron James may not be pulling the strings directly, but his influence is undeniable. He's ensured Bronny's place in the league, but at what cost? The Lakers are becoming a backdrop for a narrative that feels more like a marketing ploy than a celebration of basketball. Thank you for joining me in this discussion. I hope you found it thought-provoking. Until next time, keep questioning the narratives that shape our world.